Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I am going to be showcasing how Wargaming has royally screwed up everything when it comes to balance and blitz. When Wargaming does balance decisions, they think they're doing good for the game. They think they're making it more exciting. In reality, they have no clue what they're doing. Their decisions are dookie ball, and in today's video, I'll be explaining why. In front of us, we have a Bosch 25 ton. This is a tier 10 French tech tree light tank. Now, as most of us know, light tanks have the same concealment on move as sitting still. And we can very easily see this by running camouflage net. Now, yes, you can see that you gain camo while stationary, but that's just because camo net gives you a bonus when the tank is moving. If you take away that bonus, which is an extra 7%, they are the exact same while on move and stationary. And what that means is that you have the ability to run around the map, not be detected in your light tank compared to a medium, which does lose camo on move. So that makes sense, right? But what if I told you that tank destroyers now have the same, if not better, camouflage on move? The Bosch 25 ton with optics on has 55% concealment on move, okay? Now we're going to go down to the T95, which is a Tier 9 American tank destroyer. And the reason this vehicle is going to come into play is in a moment we're going to see a replay involving the T95. The T95 running camouflage net has 54% concealment on move. And it has 77% concealment while sitting stationary. Yep, that's right, a T95 has more camo sitting stationary in the open than a Bosch 25 ton, 132-1, T100LT. Think about that for a second. Think about that. What the heck? Why does this tank have better camouflage than light tanks while moving? That makes actually no sense. I should also mention that Tier 9 tank destroyers have more view range than Tier 10 tank destroyers. Once again, I'd love somebody to explain, Wargaming. Please sit down and have a conversation with me. I would love to have a conversation with the developers of Blitz and have them explain to me why an Object 268 has worse view range than an Object 704. We can take a look right here. An Object 268 running improved optics has 263 meters of view range. But if we go down to the vehicle, below it, the Object 704, and we run the same optics, oh, that's right, you have 10 more meters of view range with, oh yeah, the exact same camo values and alpha and DPM. What? What are we doing? Why is this what? Why? Why do Tier 9 tank destroyers have better view range than Tier 10s? And it's not just the 704, it's every Tier 9 tank destroyer. See, when Wargaming decided to rework the equipment changes, they said, yeah, we should probably nerf the tank destroyers' view range because we're giving them massive camo buffs. But what they forgot to do was nerf the Tier 9, Tier 8, Tier 7, Tier 6 tank destroyer view ranges. So essentially, you can go down to Tier 6 right now, and you can pull out a Cryos, which is considered one of the most overpowered Tier 6s in the game. You can run camouflage net on it and have 87% camo while stationary and 60% while moving. 60% camo while moving, while also featuring about 240 meters of view range. Okay, let's compare that to, I don't know, a light tank. How about we get the VK28? This is a fairly average light tank. Well, the VK28 has, 56% camo on move. Okay, so the VK28 has worse camo on move, worse camo while stationary by about 20%. And view range is, quite a bit better. Unfortunately, it really doesn't mean anything. By the way, you'd also have to be running camo net to get these values. If you're not running camo net on your light tank here, you're actually going to be about 10-ish, 15% worse camo than a Cryos on move in a light tank. So sure, you might have a lot more view range, but if you actually do the math, a Cryos will always outspot a VK28 or any light tank because its camo values are that much better. Why? Why is this decision making that Wargaming has made? I don't know. I really don't. And I'm going to showcase to you how bad the game is by just going into this replay here. This replay was me playing in my E100 earlier today with a subscriber. And the E100, it's a fairly average heavy in terms of its view range and everything. So if we skip a little bit ahead into this replay here, we skip about here, okay? So right here, I'm spotted. We can see the light bulb. Something has detected me. Now, I know it's not the 183 because the 183 is over here. And last time I had seen the T95, the player was about on this bridge here. So I was thinking to myself, Well, there's nowhere this T-95 could have gone where they shouldn't be, flat in the open. So I'm outspotted by the 95. A Tier 9 heavily armored tank destroyer has already outspotted a Tier 10 heavily armored heavy. Okay, that's already a little goofy, but it gets worse. Where do you think the T-95 is, okay? I want you guys to guess. Where do you think, out of all the positions here, the T-95 is? Do you think he's back here in this bush? Maybe he's all the way back here on, like, one of these spots, Maybe he's all the way back here and spotted me pretty far away. Maybe, right? Let's keep going. Let's keep moving up, T-95 must be in some super scientific spot to out... Oh, no, he's just flat in the open. We can actually see exactly how far away that T-95 is. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that T-95 is 160 meters away from me. I want you to think about that for a second. That tank is 160 meters away from me, unspotted, in the broad open, in a tank destroyer. And not only that, I didn't even detect the T-95. The only reason that player got spotted was because they pressed the fire button. What the absolute hell is going on with this game? Of course, I aim it on the 95 and my shell misses by a quarter mile, and all the T-95 needs to do is back up. It's already unspotted anyway due to the camouflage values it has, so once it backs up there, you can see I even typed in chat, spotting mechanics are dumb. T-95's right there. What do? I can't spot him. I have to back out of here. Don't worry, my light bulb will pop up in a moment here again, and oh, yep, there you go. Isn't that fun, guys? Isn't that fun? It gets better. It gets better. Yep, there you go. T-95 not only outspotted me, but was able to shoot my tank without being spotted. Think about that. Think about that. A Tier 9 heavily armored tank destroyer, which has arguably more effective armor, more DPM, more penetration, more damage per minute than my Tier 10 super heavy, is not only able to outspot me, but is also able to shoot me in the broad open, unspotted. How are you supposed to counter this, Wargaming? What in your mind is balanced mechanics here? This is dumb. This is ridiculously freaking stupid. And it's not just Tier 9 tank destroyers. It's Tier 10, it's Tier 8, it's Tier 7. Because sure, a Tier 9 tank destroyer might have more view range than a Tier 10 tank destroyer, but I can tell you for a fact that an Object 268 could have sat in that same spot and also would not have been detected. We are living in a world where tank destroyers are now able to outspot every other class of vehicle in the game, which defeats the purpose. It's so stupid. What are you supposed to do in a heavy when you're getting outspotted by a tank which is supposed to be reliant on its team? It is ridiculous. It is actually ridiculous. I have no words. It's crazy to me. Wow. But that's the current state of Blitz. That's how Wargaming has designed their game. Because they decided to mess with the equipment, which was perfectly fine before. Now tank destroyers have the ability to outspot mediums, light tanks, tank destroyers, whatever it is. You can actually do the math. There's a calculator out there that allows you to do the math. And basically all Tier 10 tank destroyers, if sitting still, apart from like, the 183 and the Waffenträger or the Jag, the ones that have decent camo, like a 268, like a 263, or a Badger. Badger has 70% camo while sitting still. Basically, you can equally spot mediums and light tanks with tank destroyers. That is ridiculous. The whole point of a tank destroyer is so that you stay further back and you rely on your team to spot for you. That's the whole point of a tank destroyer. You are team support. But nowadays, you can drive your tank destroyer and spot for yourself. What are we doing? This is ridiculous, and it's why I have serious problems with the current Wargaming balancing decisions. I would love to sit down with a Wargaming dev and have them tell me how this makes sense. I'd love for them to explain to me why Tier 9 tank destroyers have more view range than Tier 10 tank destroyers. I'd love for them to explain to me why Tier 9 tank destroyers are outspotting Tier 10 heavies, and not only that, but able to shoot that Tier 10 heavy after outspotting it in the open without being detected, because that makes sense, right? How am I supposed to counter that, Wargaming? Give me a reason on how my skill is supposed to counter that. Am I supposed to just never poke? It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But I will not sit quiet while these absolutely trash mechanics sit in the game. I seriously have a problem with this. I'm probably one of the only content creators, aside from Peter Keck W, who actually notices these things. But they're seriously killing the game. And people need to speak out. This is a problem. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.